I'm gonna try and make this brief, but it might end up being a little bit longer. It's currently 7:30 in the morning, and I'm outside my probation office, about to have another probation meeting. Been dealing with this for about 3.5 years. Suffering the consequences of actions so long ago. And if I'm being truthful, they weren't even my actions, right? I'm suffering somebody else's actions, suffering consequences to somebody else's actions. And granted, I put myself in that situation, but here I am. Here I've been for a long time. But have I looked at myself as a victim these past 3.5 years? The answer is no. I'm no victim, right? Even if it was my fault that I ended up here or not, even if it was my fault that I've been to jail or been on heavily supervised probation for so long, I just refuse to look at myself as a victim, because I have learned so much in these past 2 years. I've learned more in these last 2 years than I have in my entire life, having gone through this. Because in reality, what it was is a wake-up call from God that I'm thankful for, right? Even though this has been so painful, it has been constant mental turmoil for so long, for years, and just like the most pain I've ever been through, more than a toxic relationship, more than a breakup, more than family falling apart, more than physical pain. Like, this has been the most painful thing I've ever gone through in my entire life. But I'm thankful for it, because God gave me warnings before this happened, but I didn't listen. And for all of you guys out there, there is going to be a time where push comes to shove, and he's going to give you something, right? He's going to give you what you're asking for if you're asking for something. He gave me a fist to my jaw because I didn't have it together. Despite all his warnings, he saw that I could be a better person, but I was more concerned about having fun, right? I was more concerned about doing harmful shit to myself. I was more concerned about being a child and not growing into a man. I was concerned with all the wrong things, but I always knew that I wanted to be better. And this was him saying, all right, dude, like, I've given you warnings and you did not listen, so here's what's gonna happen. And he gave me the most painful thing I've ever been through. And I'm thankful every single day. And for all of you out there, man, if you're going through something hard right now, you should consider yourself lucky, because you have now opened up a door to actually do something with yourself, to actually succeed in life. And those of you that want more for yourself and haven't gone through anything like that, man, you're gonna be look over your shoulder for a while if you refuse to get it together, because God's gonna give you something, man, whether you like it or not. And it's gonna be either to your benefit or to your detriment, because to be honest, what he made me go through, or allowed me to go through, I should say, could have ran me right into the ground, right? I could have keeled over and threw my hands up in the air and said, fuck it, and gave it all up right there. I could have given it up so many times. I wanted to give up so many times, but I didn't, because I knew who I'm supposed to be. This was an opportunity. And those of you, there's gonna be a day where push comes to shove if you don't get it together before then. Some of you are gonna organically figure your shit out. Most of you are not going to. Some of you gotta touch that stove to know that it's hot. And if your hand isn't fully on the stove right now, then I would expect something like that here in the future. If ever, if you're lucky, I guess. Because that's what's gonna really cause growth. That's what's gonna really put you through the ringer and test and see if you are the person that you say you are. And make you question everything you've ever known about life, right? Make you question God if you're a believer. But it's all in good faith, regardless of how painful it is. Like I said, this is the most pain I've ever gone through. It's 7:30 in the morning right now. I would much rather be at the gym. But guess what? I would have never even wanted to go to the gym had I not gone through this shit. So I am lucky. And I am grateful. And I try and express gratitude to the situation, even though this building that I'm sitting outside right now sucks the life out of me every single time I walk in these doors. Every single time, right? It's a reminder of my fuck ups. It's a reminder of me going through horrible shit. Like, this is a place where dreams go to die. The sheriff's office, right? The probation center. This is where people either figure it out or they lose their life. And I don't mean die, I mean they dead. This is the rest of their life right here, right? In and out of jail, in and out of the probation office, right? Constant probation officers never get it together. A lot of my family's been there, are still there, and will never figure it out. But I want to be better, you know? I would have never wanted to pick up a camera had I not gone through this. I would have never wanted to be that much better had I not gone through this. I would have never learned so much about the world around me and myself and how my brain works had I not gone through this. Because you know what this caused me? Countless nights alone by myself, dealing with nothing but sober thoughts, very clear-headed thoughts, and regrets and reliving fuck-ups, and left to my own devices and imagination. And you know what? There was times where I did not use that well. There was times I wanted to give up. There was times where I never thought I'd crawl out of this hole. But as time goes on, and the more you realize you want to be better than your environment, your surrounding environment, or better than your parents, or better than your siblings, or better than those friends you used to hang out with, the more you're going to realize that it's a blessing anytime you go through some hard shit in life. Realistically. Some of you are waiting for that wake-up call. Stop waiting for a wake-up call, because it's going to hurt a lot worse than have you just got it together now. Don't ever be a victim, guys.